Now, guys, I said I will allow the people who didn't do the second part to do it at the end of the class. But I see that I need to do a little bit more of speaking and maybe some questions to answer. So what we're going to do, if you don't mind it, we'll do it tomorrow, or even better, the next Monday. I will give everyone choice. I will give you an hour and a half. So during this hour and a half, you need to do the exam. Or maybe I'm going to give you even 2 hours. Because most probably we're going to need to take 2 chapters again tomorrow, on Wednesday. So we to be on the spot to finish the, at the time. So eventually I will give you 2 hours. And I'm going to give you access to this chapter 1 and chapter 2. You guys to do them if you want even do. So to improve a little bit your performance. Is that okay? So Monday I'll give you 2 hours. Okay? In the beginning or at the end, you're going to say now. Beginning and the end. How is better? How do you feel better?
In the end.
Again. And how many people are for the end? For the end, how many people are for the end? I'm going to play 2, 3 people. Sorry, guys. In that case, it will be at the end. So before, most of the people wants to leave earlier, okay? Which is not 5:30, 5:10, 5:20, right? So we're going to do a break. We're going to start 3:10. Okay? So you guys will get enough time, 3:50. So we're going to take a break 3 o'clock Monday, the next Monday. 3 o'clock, 3:15 we're going to start. Okay? And as soon as you finish, welcome. It's fair enough? That's what we're going. Now, I want you to work on this. I mean, I really want you to work. I'll give you once again, but that will be only once. Okay? That will be only once. I'm not going to give this anymore. So I want you to work. And the important thing is, once again, guys, be present. The important thing is because we don't have enough time, I don't want you to make you pressure at the end. That's why this Wednesday, I will give you 2 chapters, and the next Wednesday again 2 chapters, and that we're going to finish 2 chapters then. Okay? Because I want you guys afterwards to get more time. I don't want at the end, when it's the important part as you saw, you to be under pressure. Okay? It's better in the beginning when it's easy. That's my understanding. I think everyone, if everyone is okay, I'll do it this way. That's okay? Okay. So we'll do it this way. This Wednesday, we're going to take another 2 chapters. And the next Wednesday for the last time, another 2 chapters. And we're going to finish with this. So this Wednesday, I'll give you 3 to 3:15 break. 3:15 up to whatever you finish. You're going to have 2 hours, obviously, to finish 2 exams. Okay? So that means the exam for which we're going to work today. And for some of you, the chapter 2, which you do. And everyone else, another one going to do chapter 5. Okay? Okay. So let's start now. Now, if you go to the TACFP, I would like to be sure that everyone will be able to access TACFP site. Please open the TACFP site. ticfp.qc.ca. What you're gonna see on my screen actually when it starts, ticfp.qc.ca. Remember the site I gave you access to. Now what I need to do here, I will provide some of the people are missing access, so I'm gonna allow them access again. So if someone missed it, I will change something here. Now, for the people who didn't do it, once again, I'm going to show it. but you need to be logged in, right? So if you cannot log in, if you have trouble to remember your password, well, you see it says I lost my password. Just click there, see what they're asking you to do. Most probably they will ask you to click on a link and reset your password. In the worst case scenario, if you are not able to do it, just go a little bit down, click student and create the same account. Now when you're creating the same account, it's not exactly like this. Just use as a username, because it's a unique for their system, just use something similar, not the same like before. Everything else is supposed to be the same, your email address, everything. So I would like to be sure everything now is, everybody is able to access it. There were some people, I just allowed the access. Now if you missed it before, now you are able to log in. Now what you need to do to find out my course, guys, what you need to do, you need to be logged in first. You need to be logged in like me. Then you need to go to the courses here, this one. And you need to click on the course catalog. Okay, course catalog, you get there. Into the search bar, you write down computer. You do search. And it will show computer operations, the third one. Now, if you see a green button like this one at the bottom here, I don't see this because as you see, I'm already subscribed. But if you see the green button, you need to click on this button only once, please, and wait a little bit. Then on the top, it will appear a bar like this, but here on the top, it will appear here on the top. And you need to put the password comp support then. Comp support. Okay, and there will be a button to register in the course. You click, you wait about 10 seconds. If it says that you haven't been registered to the courses, you click on my courses and you're gonna see it listed here. You need to see, well, not what I'm seeing, you need to see this thing. Okay, now once again, course description, agenda, Dropbox is important thing, just to remind you. If I ask you to send me an email, some assignment, click on Dropbox. Well, you create the assignment first. Right click on the desktop, you do new Microsoft document. Most probably you say assignment, let's say 2, and if it's chapter something like that. So me to know which chapter and which subchapter you've been working. You don't need to put the name because afterwards I'm gonna see the name of the people. And what you do, you come on this icon, share a new file. Then it says here send to and nothing selected. So you need to click on this button. Well, I'm seeing your names here. In your case, guys, you're gonna see only mine. I'm gonna choose a MarDev now, okay, just for practicing. And as soon as you see it, as soon as you see it marked, you're gonna be able to drag and drop the file now, like I did, and a MarDev will receive some. Okay, so I mean, I cannot send it to myself. Obviously, you're not gonna see all of the people there. You're gonna see only me. Okay, so basically, in your case, you're gonna see only one person, me, and you're gonna be able to send. Once again, don't put the name of you there because I'm gonna see it. Now, the only way or the only reason you to put your name in the Word file is if you guys use to subscribe to the TACFP site, something like Beautiful Butterfly or Strong Bodybuilder, as I mentioned, something like this, which doesn't give me any information who is the person who is sending. But as I specifically said, do not do, I guess everyone will use kind of his or her name. So myself, I will know who's sending. But if once again your name in TACFP is something different, then you need to mark your, actually you need to come here and to write down, in my case, I'm gonna put my name, okay? And then you're gonna send it to me. If you have doubts, do it this way. Any questions? Now, if you go to the site, computer operations, learning path, we already did the 2 chapters. Just to your information, once again, you have the videos, the slides, the forum. I don't see anyone sending something to me.
It's up to you guys. You have chance here to communicate with all of your friends, including myself. I'm considering myself your biggest fan and friend because I would like you guys to learn something in the end. So computer assembly, which will be today's lecture or today's work, is the third one. If you click on it, well, there will be a little bit more stuff there because there are three parts actually of the site. So if I open the site as well, you're gonna realize that there is let me see, I'll move it now so you guys to see my screen. Just give me a sec to navigate to the site. Or actually I could even open the guys, sounds good. Build the computer, which means to build a computer, boot the computer. So once it's built, the important thing is the computer to start. That's how they call it, booting the device. And here we're gonna speak what is a BIOS and UEFI settings, and afterwards upgrade and configure a computer. Okay, and here we'll explain how to upgrade components in a computer system to meet requirements. And there will be a summary at the end of it. So basically, as you see, the slides are about this. And the videos, 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and 3 of 3, basically, they're trying to work on this, all of these chapters. As the previous time, every video is about 20 minutes long, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, this one is 14 minutes, even less than 20 minutes. And you have the forum again. So for the people who would like to learn something and to share something, I already started a thread. We could work on this together. Now, there are some additional materials. Guys, it's a lot of noise here, guys. I cannot work like that. Now, the additional materials, virtual assembly desktop. If you click on this one, I showed it to you. There will be a link. Now, this link, guys, is working only from the school. It won't work from outside. It's working only on school. So if you click here, it will ask you to enable the flash player. You click it and you're gonna do allow. And I showed it to you the last time. Now, today we're gonna speak a little bit, and then I'm gonna give you some time you to work on this. That's the first thing. The next one is the same, but assembling the laptop. So just click on this guy again. And here it is. You could assemble the laptop in the same way, virtually, as we did the desktop. Now, the difference between BIOS and UEFI videos, we're gonna watch together. So that's on the second chapter, if you remember. It's a small video. It's about, if I'm not mistaken, 3 minutes. It's less than 3 minutes, actually. We're gonna saw it. We're gonna see it together. And afterwards, you have some materials you could read. The difference between BIOS and UEFI CMOS. Okay, so you're gonna see this too. And PC Practical site. Now, unfortunately, I don't know the reason, but if I click on this one, the site doesn't appear. But it says how the site is called, PC Part Picker. So what you, because it doesn't show, well, you click here PC Part Picker, and you click, that will be the first one, but you need to open the Canada. Well, this one, capcpartpicker.com. Click on this, that will be the site. I'll explain you what we're gonna do on this site, and that will be your assignment. The next time you come, guys, well, not the next time, to the end of the class, there will be additional, actually, right away I'm gonna do it. You're gonna have a section which will be called assignment. So I'm gonna put it at the end. Okay. Oops, I did a mistake. assignment. I'm gonna save it. And basically, if you refresh your page now, you're gonna see it here. So beneath it will be only one assignment, which at the end of the class I'm gonna show you. I mean, I'll leave you to work a little bit and I'll do the assignment, which basically will be with all the knowledge you're gonna gather to build me a workstation from this site. I'll show you afterwards how this site works. It's a very, very cool thing. For the people who wants to create their own desktops, it's a very, very cool thing. Not only your own. If you would like to create for, you know, wherever you're working, if you would like to create for them, or if you're looking for how the parts to fit to each other, so which one is compatible to each other, this is indispensable site. Very, very nice and very easy to work with. I'll show you after this. Any question up to now, guys? And I'm gonna go to the second slide here, the third one. Now, the case. The case is what it says, guys. That's the computer box. Depending on the computers, I mean, the cases will be different always. Okay. Now, the most important thing here, guys, to remember what is a form factor. So the cases, the standardized way they create in them are the form factors. So you're gonna see into your lecture there are several of them. You need to remember them because of the example. Okay, on the example we'll ask you which form factor is this, which form factor is that. Okay, so that's what you need to remember. So within the case you install everything, all the parts of the computer. Now once again, they provide you with this because that's the most easiest way people to learn how to start building up computers. Obviously, if they provide you with laptop, it will be a little bit tricky. Right? It's very small. Not all the parts exist inside. Here you can see everything. It's even easier if you open a server box, which I'm going to at some point do for you as well. I'm going to give you, I have some of my servers from my lab. I brought here so the students to work on them. I'll bring it to you, and with one of the technicians, you're going to open them, but that will be at the end of the class. So I'm going to give you also. So you're going to see what the server, a real server, what it means. And how, when you open, what there is inside. There will be no difference, though. It will be just more obviously created. Now, inside the box, you put the motherboard. Once again, when we say motherboard, it's the board, the mother of all boards. You're going to have a lot of boards inside. You're going to see. All of these boards will be doing something. So basically, you could add some additionals. There will be ports which are called slots. You put on them. Now, every slot differs from each other. Most probably they will show you that here, or maybe in the next lecture you're going to see how the different slots in the motherboard how differs from each other and what they do. But basically, you cannot make a mistake. Okay, if it's not compatible, when you try to put it, either clearly it will show it doesn't work, or you need to put a lot of force which will break the board, which I would say don't do. The point, if the point is that it's something very similar, and you're not sure that it's working or not, then you open the PC part picker or some other sites, and you can check the compatibility, and you see if that's the part you get is the part you're going to use for this particular slot on the mother. Okay, so first here in the case, you need to install the power supply. That's if you remember. That is if you remember. If I go to the site, let me just go to the desktop again. Okay, if you remember, that was the first thing we needed to install. Power supply layer. Okay, so you need to install the power supply. So the power supplies you're gonna see, there are different providers. Well, the same with the cases. And the power supplies, there are different providers. By the way, the cases, to be bigger or to be smaller. Why? I mean, it depends. If you're gonna have very powerful machine, well, apparently you need bigger box. Okay, if you created it from scratch. If you don't need so powerful machine, like in our cases here, okay, you could take a small form factor also called small form factor boxes or small form factor cases, in which basically there are even called mini computers. You want to see them. One of them, if you Google it actually, if you do Google research for this, it's very interesting. You could find out some very nice choices, very powerful ones. So if you do best mini PCs 2018, I guess, yeah, here it is. It will give you several of them. This one is very nice. Okay. That's the IBM, I'm sorry, Intel NUC. It's very, very nice. Alienware is very nice as well. You're going to see there are a lot of them here. Well, you could find out other materials like this, but that's interesting things. So these are machines which are very, very small. They're this type of I mean, that's big. There are some even which are micro. One of them might be the Raspberry Pi. Okay, it's so small. It's something like this. It's fully fledged computer. You could hear from media center on it. You could hear from Silver. You could hear from your home center as well. NASA and stuff like that. It's a small like this, very, very small, and it costs about $100 if you buy everything. So this is about the boxes. Very, very in brief, guys. There will be more about them in the further materials of the course. Some questions about it. If you go and look for the best cases, you want to find out really, really nice cases on the market. There are some cases which are, in some cases they're expensive, $500. You could buy very, very expensive ones which they have specific lights on them. They have not fans for cooling them, but additionally they have a water cooling, which is additional price for this. I cannot say which one is better. The classical way is to cool down the whole thing with a fan, several fans. You're going to see different sizes of fans, from something like this up to something like this. Very different sizes. You're going to see this too. So I would suggest you guys also, when you open one of these, just to do a small research to see which part is the best at the moment and what you can buy at the moment very, very expensive and what you can buy very, very cheap. So you have a good understanding of how it goes. That's the easiest way to work. Okay. Now, on the motherboard. So installation of the motherboard itself consists of all the parts which installing here. If you remember the second part of our movie here, if I open the movie again, you see it's the motherboard layer. Okay, and afterwards, if you remember, when we went to the motherboard, we installed, the first thing we installed was the RAM, the CPU, the thermal compound, and the heatsink. And we also screwed the mount. I mean, we put the motherboard onto inside the box, and we put the screw on it. Remember this. As well as here's the motherboard. Okay, all of the additional parts, they're put it into these additional slots, as I mentioned. This thing here, these are the additional slots. They stay on the, if you see your computers at the back, wherever you have at the bottom, at the moment it's closed. It's closed. There are some, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them at the back. If you go back on the computer, you're going to see 4 horizontal like this. They're closed at the moment. So all these are the slots. Yeah, you could turn back and you can see on your friend. And basically you're going to see these slots are closed at the moment. So we could, at any point, we could remove this small particles which are closing this cold air, and we could put inside like external network card, network interface card, or we could put a more powerful video card, or if we want, we could put a good audio card. So if we would like to listen, let's say 7.1 sound, professional sound, well, we could do this. Most of the computers, they have integrated most of this thing. They're integrated inside, and basically they stay on the upper side of the board, on the same side where the slots resides, but on the upper side. So if you go back again, you're gonna see there are some which are pre-installed where your USB key, where your USBs, your network cable enters, as well as the VGI cable enters. And sometimes there will be more. Audio card might be installed, video card might be installed, pre-installed there, and so on and so forth. Now the tendency today is they don't allow, especially for the expensive, when you buy expensive things, basically you to buy also for the gamers, especially, or for people who do a lot of not only gaming, also image or movies processing. So there will be right away you need to buy your video card and your audio card as well. Okay, so you need to buy them when you buy the computer. They don't sell you computers with pre-installed ones, which once again is for high-end or more expensive machines. There are laptops which are very, very expensive. If you check in internet the Asus $10,000 laptop, you want to see what I'm talking about. It's a monster like this, very big one, with 20 inches, if I'm not mistaken. Let me find it for you. So there are laptops like this as well. Yeah, Acer, I'm sorry, Acer Predator. So here it is. So I'm gonna go and just open it. Here it is.
But I, now that I've seen that it is indeed possible, would simply call very, very, very highly improbable.
You see what's going on?
Is it?
And it's with curved display. It's about $10,000 in cost.
Laptop with a curved
Yeah, Acer.
560 by 1080, 120 hertz display, a Cherry MX Brown mechanical keyboard with full individually controlled.
It's like a real keyboard.
A right side of the controller laptop.
So you're supposed to be very strong to keep this one on, actually. You see, that's how it looks.
The CPU and GPU are both overclockable. What does that overclocking translate to? Well, our benchmark results actually went down in units and value.
When they're talking about overclocking of processor, that means to get more of the processor, which normally it's giving you. This is mostly for gamers who are using, or people who's gonna do a lot of processing on this, maybe a huge databases or maybe a lot of drawings and stuff like that. CAD. Now, the overclocking is good, but you need to prepare the computer for this. That means the computer for sure is supposed to have water cooling, for sure, additionally, as well as you need to check before this in internet if the overclocking will work with this, if people try it, because it could burn your processor. And if your processor costs, I don't know, $1,000, $2,000, you know, today you have $2,000 processor, tomorrow you need to buy one. And it hurts. Okay. Now, enough for this. Just giving you an idea that you could find out everything what you need in internet. It's there already. Now, if I go back to my slides, the motherboard. The motherboard you're gonna choose. Then, whatever part you're gonna put on it, you need to be sure it is compatible with the motherboard. Okay. It's supposed to be compatible with the motherboard, otherwise, you know, it won't either fit or not work. Now, we spoke the last time. I just would like to be sure that we are in the same page, guys. Let me open it. Very, very schematical. There are two types of processors. The motherboards and all the parts actually which are consistent with this. Now, the old ones which were 32-bit, and you have one which is 64-bit. Now, the major difference between them, first of all, this is an old thing, this is a new one. But the major difference between them is, now when we're talking about the processor, if you remember, that's the processor, that's the brain of the computer, and that would be here, the random access memory. You're going to see what you're supposed to know already what it is. That's the volatile memory. That's the memory which after we stop the computer, everything what is there disappears. But the huge advantage of this memory is it's very, very fast. It's very much faster than the ordinary memory, which actually we have either actually as a hard drive or hard drives or these flash drives. One of these. Or sometimes it's combined. Now this RAM memory comparing to this one is very, very, very fast. But it's volatile. When you stop the machine or you rebooted it or you restarted it, everything what was inside and was used by the processor at any point, well, it disappears. It's not anymore here. Now, there is something which is called the system bus. This is a specific way of connecting electronically the CPU with the RAM memory. Now, how much large is this thing? Basically influence these two things. Let's say 10 years ago, to buy a 64-bit machine was very, very expensive. Nowadays, all of them are 64. All of them. So more and more people starting using a software which is 64-bit compatible, which is 64-bit. Now, it's very easy to understand. The 32-bit, the limitation of this in terms of RAM, you cannot go beyond 4 gigabytes. That's the max. You cannot go more. That's all. 4 gigabytes of RAM, and that's all. Here you're gonna see in your lectures it's up to exabytes, which is after the gigabytes that are coming in terabytes, afterwards the exabytes. So it's a lot of space. There are no invented yet, so people. Okay, so that's, you see, it's an obvious reason. Now it looks like if I need to give you a normal, physical explanation of this, well, this will be the, if you look from a tube where a water goes, right? Or if you look at the bottle, So if this is a bottle and you put inside the water, and this one, that's a 32, and this is 64, well, this bottle will be much, much, much larger, and hence you're going to put much, much, much more water inside. Okay, so that's in terms with the 32 and 64. If I'm talking about 32 and 64 for bit operating system is the same. So if I ask you, if I would have 32-bit machine processor with 32-bit, an old one, and I would like to install a 64-bit operating system, 64-bit system on it, or application. Why? It's like the bottles, guys. What will happen if you try this one to put the content of this inside? It will go, most of it will go outside, right? It won't go inside. Because, as you see, it's 1,000, maybe million of times bigger than this one. But if I ask you, the 64-bit, can I install 32-bit? Yes. If I take this one, this bus, if I put it here, well, it will be here somewhere, but it will be. Okay, it will come up to here, but still, I'm going to be able to use it, right? So that's how you could visualize the thing. Very, very practical. Okay, so that's how it works. Now, when we are talking about these guys, all of them supposed to be compatible either with this or that. The programs, the same concept. you could use 32-bit programs on 64-bit machine. And as a matter of fact, some of the programmers still, their programs don't have a 64-bit edition. There are not so many of them, but there are still. No problem. On the 64-bit edition, you use it without any problem. If you try to use 64-bit application on 32, it will tell you, I can't install this architecture on this type of architecture application on this machine. The same concept, the concept of the bottle should go. Any questions? So basically 4 gigabyte, which over here you're gonna see exabytes. A lot, much bigger. Actually, it's not 4 gigabyte, it's up to 3.5. That's the real thing, but 4 gigabyte is very close approximate. So still people will ask me, okay, if I used to use a lot Windows 7 32. Can I still use it? Yes, for sure. But if you have a 16 gigabyte RAM machine, and if you install the operating system, which is 32-bit, the only thing you're gonna see on the, it says you have physically, you have 16 gigabyte of RAM, but you're physically using only 4 of them, 3.5. That's all. You're gonna spend money for something you're not using. And as a matter of fact, more and more, everywhere nowadays, you go and buy the operating systems are 64 in the machine says. Up here, guys, that's very, very important. Okay, so if we go to the next slide, well, that's the electrical. That's what we spoke already could destroy the which could destroy the motherboard. Here's the installation, how to install the RAM, how to install the motherboard itself. Once again, for this thing, while you're reading it or watching the movie, please do this thing as well. That's why I provided you. Okay, just go on the site here, what you need to write down, share in your browser / desktop, or just go and click on the site. You go and click here on the virtual assembly desktop and virtual assembly laptop. You just click, you click on the link, and it will open it for you. Okay, for now, do the desktop. When you get to the when you finish with it, you could do a little bit of laptops as well. Now, the next thing we need to install after is to go and to install the internal drives. Well, we have one of them, as we mentioned. They could be the hard drives, okay, and they could be also kind of flash cards, as we spoke. Nowadays, more you could see both of them, okay, but still the less expensive one is the hard drive. I mean the particular and the classical hard drive, which is designed of a lot of rotating cylinders inside, very, very close to each other. There are micrometers among them, and there are reading heads. These heads are also micrometers. So it looks like a cold thing, but it's not, and it's spinning pretty fast. Okay, when you use the flash technology, then in that case, you basically use it as if it's the same like the RAM memory. But in that case, it's much more expensive. Still, it's more expensive. What the people do from practical perspective, it's good if you buy laptops to do this way. Now, when you go install the operating system, all the resources needed for the operating system to work is good to be on a separate, they call it partition. So if that's the hard drive, let's say, if this is a hard drive, HDD means hard drive device, okay? So if this hard drive, it's just represented like this square, okay? a physical one. So if you would like to install an operating system on one, on this one, and to use, obviously you have only one of them, and to use the other part of this to store your information, it's a good thing you guys to divide it logically. There is a way this to be done, logically to be divided to two partitions. Two partitions. One is called partition 1, the other one will be partition 2. So you're going to put your operating system here, and all of your data you're going to start putting here. In that case, the data here won't interfere with the operating system, and your system will be much faster and much easier to clean afterwards. There are problems you're going to see. There are problems like the fragmenting, okay, or clean up the system and so on and so forth into the Windows operating system. You could clean that after you put the fragment, so you put basically all the information, you put the structure inside. Fragmentation means the information when it's written, all the files and folders, when they're written into the hard drive, they're not written in the sequence. Maybe one part of the file resides somewhere here, one part of the file is 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 here, or folder. Which means this to be written, it's supposed to spin, go back, spin again, go back, and the head's supposed to read it. So it's very fast, but it's a physical time which is taking place. So that means if we are able to make all of these guys in sequence, so first the ones, afterwards the second, third, fourth, and so on and so forth, well, the reading of them will be much easier. So that's how we call the process when we order them like that. It's called defragmentation. With defragment, the skits you're gonna see, I'm gonna show it the next time to you guys. It's a very easy process, but it's taking a lot of time. But it's supposed to be done regularly. So it's a good when you create two different partitions on a disk, but you to regularly to defragment all of them. As well as there is one which is called clean. Clean up the system. It's there as well. So all the temporary files, all the files which haven't been used, all the parts which were only parts of files or something which is not in use anymore, they could be removed. All of this could speed up your system a lot. Okay, that's how the hard drives are very, very important. So for this moment, that's all I would speak about this. The other thing you're gonna read there. Any questions, guys? The optical drives. Well, there are more and more systems you cannot find optical drives. Nowadays, you could find out computers with more and more USB drives. Okay, so the optical drives, as you know, that's also storage, kind of storage, and these are optical discs, which actually are the storage itself. The most common way to find out are either the CD, the DVDs, and the Blu-rays. Every one of them is different than the other, depending on how much information might store. There are two sides Blu-rays. You could store about 80 gigabytes of information, which is a lot. 80 up to 100 gigabytes of information. Okay. In the beginning, though, there was no such devices. They using a laser to read. Okay. And the information most of the time is permanently written. So you cannot delete them. But there are some CDs, there are some DVDs, especially, which are rewritable. So you could particular time of repetition, you could rewrite the information there, which I wouldn't suggest doing. I mean, first of all, it's very slow, as well as it's not very secure. Using USB. That's why you're gonna see this type of drives, they're not so much in use anymore. But if you like to watch the Blu-ray and you have only a laptop, it's a good chance to get the Blu-ray inside. Don't forget DVDs and the Blu-rays, they have specific regions. If you bring your DVD or Blu-ray from India, it might not work with the Blu-ray reader here. You need to do something. I mean, you're gonna have 5 trials to do. You could just change it, and while you're studying here for 2, 3, 5 years, let's say, you could use it. You go back to India and basically you could change it constantly. Or you could install the operating system install. Okay? Or there is a third option which I'm not going to mention obviously, but there are options. You could buy something which eventually might change this behavior. I don't suggest it because it's not what we want. So once again, they're not too much anymore in use. They're not too much in use. Any question about it? Reading these devices is the same concept like reading the hard drives, but it's much more costly. It's much more costly. The adapter cards. These are all the additional cards we're going to install into the slots on the other side. In your here, you're going to find it here in the adapter cards. When you come here, all of these slots will be used for these cards to be installed. All of these slots, guys. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 slots. You see, you could install additionally up to 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and they will actually, you're gonna use screws to put them here on that side, and basically they will be shown on the opposite side. You're gonna see their ending. So if you turn back, you're gonna see at the bottom. Once again, in our computers we don't use anything. They're small factors. So basically, when you buy this type of card, you need to consider how big will be this part here. Okay, because the standard they sell it for not for mini, they sell it for a standard box. Okay, which is a little bit different. Now, if you would like to put an additional networking interface card, that's the easiest way basically to find out with a small part like this. And nowadays they sell it with small as well. So you just unscrew the big one. This one is removable. So you just unscrew it and you put the small one which they sell you as well, and you could put it in this computer. So basically that's what we do if we need some additional networking devices which otherwise are very expensive. What we do, we go and buy for 50 bucks card like that, or several cards like that. We put them on this computer and we have a device which is called router, which would do some networking function, very advanced one, which I wouldn't buy actually a normal device like that. I might give $1,000 more, or maybe $2,000 more. I could use a computer we already have using this separately. Or if you would like to do gaming on this one and you are not satisfied and you would like to use bigger monitor, most probably you're gonna add additional video card. Or if you would like to listen to a nice music, and you have a blue right there, and you would like to listen to very nice sound, you might buy an extra card, external card, which has a very nice all the channels there. You could connect 6, 7, 8. Nowadays there are up to 10, if I'm not mistaken. You know, to listen to the sound. So all of these adapters, guys, they're very easy to put. You just need to be sure that wherever you try to put them into the slots, these slots are compatible. So they will be explained which one is which one. Okay. Now the cables. That's what you do as soon as you install the devices. You're gonna see here in the demonstration, after installation of the drives, well, there will be internal cables. Here there are all of these cables. Now, some of the cables that are shown here, they're not in use anymore. You're gonna see this, but anyway, you need to see how they work. There are different types. You're gonna learn about all of them. Most of them are, well, the ones which are coming from the power supply, they give you power. As you see, there are a lot of them with different endings. Okay, so these ones are used on different parts. Okay, as well as, well, basically you don't use them directly on the part. You put them on the motherboard itself. Let's say here, you see this one is a slot where you put the cable like this one. Okay. Or maybe for the hard drives, or maybe for the DVD or Blu-ray drives, and so on and so forth. You're gonna see when you start doing it. The most used nowadays for hard drives actually are this one, the SATA, the serial ATA. Okay, that's how they call them. You're gonna read where the name is coming from and so on and so forth. But these guys, they're providing the data. They're providing the flow of data for some of the devices, especially for hard drives, okay, and for the other storage drives, as well as in our cases nowadays for the DVDs and so on and so forth. Okay, so you're gonna see this how to be installed also in this simulation here, and you could practice it on the laptops as well. Okay. So the same for the cables. Now, the first part, once again, is for the power cables, which are providing you powers for the device. The next one is for the, as I mentioned, the SATA cables. They will provide you the data, as well as for the front panel, some of the indication, the LED, okay, for the speakers and so on and so forth. And you have the external cables here. The external cables most of the time are these ones you see on the back side of the case, where you could connect the USB devices, your monitors, your keyboards. You're gonna see the keyboards. These are the PS2 connections used in the classical boards. If you're gonna use a server, it's you're gonna realize you're gonna find it most of the time. This PS2, even though it's a obsolete standard now. Most of the cases nowadays you're gonna see USBs, more and more and more USBs, and they will explain you basically if you don't have enough USBs, how you could use a USB hub. So that means in one USB ports of this you put let's say a USB hub which has 4 or 6 or more additional USBs, and you could use it. There are some limitations. You're gonna read about this. How much you could do, is it possible to daisy chain them, so one by one you to connect several of them, and so on and so forth. It's very clearly explained there. You're going to see this. Okay, and that's all about the first part of the, any questions, guys? Any questions? So once again, when you click on the link, you're gonna see the site. Okay, when you log in, you need to create your login with your existing email, and you click on system build. You're gonna see here it is to choose a CPU. Click. These are all the models of CPU. Now do a little bit of research. CPU, I could choose CPU for gaming, and it will give you some options here. Here it is, for 180 gaming. Here it is. Now try to see some processors from here. Choose them, let's say by default, but always stick to the whole configuration, 2,000 Canadian dollars. If I choose this guy, well, I could see actually from where I could buy it and which prices. You see how it's good done. I could even reduce some prices. And if I'm satisfied, I'll click to add, and my computer has been chosen. Then you need a cooler for sure. Choose a cooler, the same thing. Add. Then you need to choose a motherboard. Well, add one. Again, you could check here and to see, and there are some performances and prices and some reviews. You see, and compatible parts and so on and so forth. You see how well it's done. Well, if I choose this one, then choose a memory. The same thing. Okay, if you need additional one, here it is. Choose a storage. Well, you could choose something. Here it is. If you want an additional one, SSD, you could choose. Then choose a video card. Well, it's a gaming platform, so it's a good idea to choose a video card. Again, look for Tom's Hardware is very good site. They explain you a lot about the hardware, and they're giving you estimation which is good, which is better, and for which one you to use what. So this what I'm showing you at the moment. I'm recording a movie at this point, and at the end of the class, at the end here to the assignment, you're gonna have this movie, as well as you're gonna have into the additional information in front of the virtual assembly desktop. There will be a movie where I'm explaining you the thing about the how to, I mean, remember what I explained you about the exams. And here about the videos, here into the videos 1 to 3, there will be my video, which I shooted before about the chapter 1, when I recorded myself. So there will be, to the end of the class, there will be even more here. That's what I would like to say. Which when you go home, you could go through all of this. So when I choose this thing, the video card, then I could choose a case. Here's the case. I could go and choose very fancy or very cheap one, and so on and so forth. You could look for this, which are the good gaming cases again. Choose a power supply, very important thing. Again, I'm gonna choose something. And then everything else I would say is optional. Operating system, optical drive, software, a monitor, external storage. I would have missed all of this. I don't need that. And you see, my bill is $1,545. Now I could do some additional research and change something, but you see it says permalink here. If I copy this link and if I open additional browser, which I'm not registered at all, and if I just pasted it here, the link, well, it will bring me exactly to what I just built up. Yeah, here's the same price if you see. So as you see, it's not, this permalink is actually a link to your build. And if you are okay with this, you could save it. So you do save as. You could create a new part list, so you could call it something. Test 1, I could say. Or if already have one, you could choose from one. You see, these are already something I built. I could choose and I could change with this one. And you do save, and the thing is done. Okay? And then what I want you guys to do is to send me the link here, to send this link. That's what I'm saying. Copy the link into the box below. How to copy it? Well, as I mentioned, you come here. I copied it already, if you remember. It's already here on the top as well. So you click on this small link here. You see it says link when I hover. Click. I just put the URL. And I write down here my PC part picker config. And you do OK. And you see it says my PC part picker config here. You do save and continue later. And then you end the, well, you need to write down. So you click enter and you write down blah, blah. Well, you don't do blah, blah. But you write down something. Okay, why you've chosen this. Which sites eventually you use, like I showed you. Which site you use, so to choose the CPU, to choose most of the important parts, the graphical card and so on and so forth. And afterwards, once all of this is done, I presume a little bit of writing, then you do save and continue later, and then end the test, and Ascend will receive your test right away. So when I open it, I'm gonna see it received. Now, what I just showed you guys, I'm gonna make, I just did the movie, I'm gonna stop it now.